So hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have a change of location and I have not been on this channel in such a long time. I've been busy with my other channel. I'm posting twice a week on sermons, by teens, 14, so I've been definitely busy with that. And I'm just trying to come up with ideas for this channel so that I don't do too much of the same thing. I have been getting a lot of comments on my volleyball videos. Thank you guys for watching them, but a lot of questions about being a 7th grader trying out for volleyball for the first time. Now this video is for 7th graders trying out for volleyball for the first time. So if your school starts in 6th grade, it may be a little bit different. So kind of take it and kind of apply it to what you're at, or the level you play at school, because each school level is kind of different. But I watched a couple 7th grade volleyball games and I kind of gathered, what each team's skill set was, what their requirements were. And keep in mind, you are trying out. It's not you're playing a game. These people have gone through a month or two of training and practice before they start playing. So it's obviously going to be different for you trying out. So I wrote a couple tips and a couple kind of prerequisites you should have before you try out for the volleyball team. So let's get started. So the first thing is serving. So a lot of people have been asking me questions about serving. What should I do? How should I serve? Should I serve under or over? And here's my answer. So my answer is, if you can serve overhand consistently, go for it. If you can serve, say you serve 10 times, and if you can get 7 out of 10 over, show it to the coaches. But if you're only getting 4 out of 10 over, don't. If you have a more consistent underhand serve than your overhand, definitely use your underhand serve, because coaches are looking for consistency, not an impressive serve you can only perform 3 out of 10 times. So if you can get your underhand serve over 10 out of 10 times, and you can only get your overhand serve over about 3 out of 10, definitely use your underhand serve, because I've seen in some clubs they do have some underhand, some overhand, and some are just overhand. So also just look at your school club and see if they only serve overhand, but usually in 7th grade they do serve under. In 8th grade they usually don't though. The second thing is defensive skills. So we're talking about passing or bumping. So for this one, you need to be able to hit a ball in a relatively straight line. And also practice all the right technique, having your butt down, having your legs a little bit farther than shoulders. Squeeze your shoulders, that's also really important. Sorry, I had to reset the camera, so if the lighting's a little bit different, my bad. So make sure you squeeze your shoulders, you keep your platform steady, and you pass the ball relatively high, because you can pass it straight, but it just goes like that, and no one can save that. So make sure you practice passing the ball high enough for a setter to get in a relatively straight line. So setting and hitting. So for setting and hitting, these are kind of more advanced. My recommendation is that you can learn how to set. That's fine. And for hitting, I say just know how to do it. You maybe don't need to be able to do it well or do it incredibly, but just having a good idea of knowing, okay, I have to do left, right, left, turn, and then jump. You have to turn to look at the setter, turn, jump, and hit the ball. That's, as long as you have an idea of how to do it, that's fine. You don't really have to know how to do it and crush the ball. But setting is definitely a good thing to know how to do. So then if somebody serves the ball a little bit too high and you're playing back row, you can set it up. Or if you're playing, front row, you can even just set it maybe for someone else to hit it over. It's just a really good skill to know. And then also a coach would be impressed if you're in 7th grade and setting a ball pretty well. So as for rules are concerned, I'd say just know all the basic rules. There are so many rules and regulations in volleyball. I just say know what a net touch is, what the antennas do, know all the markings on the court, know what in and out is, and know service errors. Those are, I think, the main things you need to know. And also know the basic rotation of volleyball. I think if you know those 6 things, you should be pretty good. Okay, as for volleyball etiquette, make sure to call your ball. And what do we mean when we say call your ball is when somebody is Like if somebody serves the ball or if someone's passing the ball and it's coming straight towards you, call mine or got it. So then you can let people know that it's your ball, you're gonna get it, and they don't need to run in and try and hit it. Because when you don't call the ball, often that's when miscommunication happens, and a lot of people try to run in and get it, or you'll bump into people. So often calling got it or mine is a good habit to start getting into. And also, coaches look very highly of people who call got it, mine very frequently. The other thing is staying in your area. So with calling, this should not be a problem, but make sure you don't run. If you're playing back, don't run to the side, don't run to the front. You're not playing front row, you're playing back row. If that ball hits the ground because somebody in front row did not get it, don't try and run and get it, because that's not your position. Because if you're out of position and the ball comes to your position, what do you say, you know? So make sure you stay in your area, don't run too far to the left, too far to the right. Shouldn't even be running at all. But don't, get somebody's ball who should be over here. Just make sure you stay evenly blocked out and just get what is in your circle, not what's in other people's. The third thing is listening to your coaches. That is very important. If your coach tells you to maybe hold your hand higher when you're serving or squeeze your shoulders, make sure to definitely apply that to the next time you have to use that skill. Definitely apply it. Coaches love players who actually listen to what they say, because if you're not taking the coach's advice, then why are you on a team? Coaches tell you what they know to better you as a player, so if you're not listening to them, they don't want to waste their time on players who don't listen. And the last thing is definitely shag your balls. That is biggest volleyball etiquette. And shag your balls technically means if you serve a ball or hit a ball out, and you guys are rotating or doing something, make sure to run out and get your ball. So this is very important because most schools hate when you don't shag your balls, and they get very upset because then you end up running out of balls and the balls are all over the gym. And make sure if it's if you hit it out, only get your ball. Don't get somebody else's unless they say shag your balls and they mean to get all of them. You'll know the difference, but just, if you hit your ball out or if you hit it to the side and you're not playing currently, get your ball and put it back in the basket. That is one of the biggest things. General note in my leaving statement for this video is that 7th grade volleyball is not Olympic level volleyball. It's not varsity. It's not even high school level volleyball. It is middle school volleyball. It is the first year of volleyball. So don't stress too much about having an overhand serve, making sure you set perfectly, making sure you know how to spike. It's really just the basics. The first year of volleyball is really when you learn all the rules, you learn if you really like the sport or not. So don't stress yourself out over, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that. Just kind of know the basics, know pass, set, know how to hit, know how to underhand serve, maybe overhand. Just keep it simple, just know how to do the basics. You don't have to do it amazingly. Just keep it simple, because 7th grade volleyball is an advanced volleyball. It's the beginner volleyball. So don't think you have to be this immaculate player, because really coaches are just looking for people who listen, people who take criticism, and people who can play the game relatively well. So thank you guys for watching this week's video. I hope it helped, because I know I got a lot of comments about this. Like, subscribe, do whatever you do, and I will see you next Sunday. Goodbye. Bye.